Death has a job to do, just like the rest of us. And much like the rest of us, that doesn't mean it's always easy. When Harvey Grieves' name comes up on Death's list, Harvey has better ideas, and it's not going to be just any old day on the job for this bringer of doom. Escaping hospital, Harvey leads Death on a wild goose chase, and Death just can't catch a break. Adoring goth fans wanting selfies, struggling with change on the number 17 bus, knocking on the wrong doors and giving Harvey's neighbours the fright of their lives. This isn't how Death's used to doing business. Catching up with Harvey, it turns out, far from being afraid of dying, he just wanted to say goodbye to his home, to his cat, and the memory of his late wife. Having a whiskey and a moment of bonding, Death has even found a friend, albeit one who still has to die. From the mind of screenwriter Alice, award-winning director Peter, and producer Simon, The Grim Reaping of Harvey Grieves is a hilarious dark comedy, not so much about death, but about life, and the things that really matter.
And we're in the room. There we are. Good evening, everybody. Hello, and welcome to our table read evening for The Grim Reaping of Harvey Grieves. It's lovely to be here again, and I'm producer Simon, and ladies first. And
I'm Peter, the director.
We're not going to hang around too much, so you've just seen hopefully the 60-second pitch video for the film, which just it was a nice idea. It gives a really nice kind of feel of, you know, kind of what the film is like and the humour of it and an idea of the story, but we thought it's important so that everybody really knows and can get excited about this. It's a little unconventional because obviously the script is copyright material and all that kind of thing, all the usual disclaimers, but we'd like to share this reading, and some friendly performers joined in with us and gave us their time to do this, which we recorded on Wednesday. This bit's not actually live, but just to be safe we recorded it. So without further ado, if I can find it, right, there we go. This is our table read of the script.
Joey?
Hi there everybody, welcome to our table read for The Grim Reaping of Harvey Grieves. We're going to share the whole script of the short film with you, and we hope it's going to be great fun, and you're going to come to the end of it thinking, I just want to see this film, and run over to the Kickstarter and You don't have to empty out your bank account, but get involved and help us get this film made. We got some help from some fantastic regional talent tonight, so I'm going to introduce to you Liv.
Hi.
That's Liv. We got Simon, the other Simon.
Hello.
We got Mabs and Susie. And we've got writer Alice. We've got director Pete. I'm producer Simon. And as Harvey tonight, we have Leslie.
Hiya.
There's our Harvey. Right, so without further ado, this is the Grim Reaping of Harvey Grieves. Our story starts with exterior hospital day. The hospital is a large, imposing building with a large car park in front. The sky is clear and we can hear leaves rustling and the hum of nearby traffic. Standing in the car park, looking up at the building, is Death, the archetypal image of the Grim Reaper. Death is an imposing figure in a long black robe, their face concealed entirely in the shadow of their hood. In one skeleton hand, they hold an intimidating scythe.
Interior hospital ward day. We can hear the faint sounds of murmurs, footsteps, and trolley wheels coming from the corridor. Closer, we hear the regular beep of the heart monitor. A patient, male, elderly, is sitting upright in his bed, his lunch on an over-bed table pulled up in front of him. In his hand is a slice of pizza. We can't see his face as he looks out of the window beside his bed, but we can see what he is looking at. Death. The pizza falls from his hand.
Interior hospital foyer day. The hospital foyer is spacious and full of low-level chatter and the sounds of people and visitors as visitors mill around and nurses go about their business. A phone rings. Death approaches the reception desk. The receptionist is on the phone but smiles at Death in recognition. She's seen them around here before.
Yes.
Death removes a photo from their robes and shows it to the receptionist. It shows an elderly man, his already creased face contorted into a frown. The name Harvey Grieves is scrawled next to the face. The receptionist raises her hand in a 1 minute gesture and types something into her computer. She turns back to Death and silently mouths the information they need, using her fingers to illustrate the numbers she mentions.
Floor 5, room 3.
Death nods in appreciation and leaves. The receptionist smiles and turns her attention back to the phone.
Interior hospital ward day. Exciting action music plays as the patient's wizened old hand rips the hospital's medical monitoring equipment from his chest, causing the sound of the heart monitor to flatline. Just as hurriedly, he detaches a tube from his thin wrist.
Interior hospital lift day. Death is riding the hospital lift. It is silent but for the hum of bright lights and the occasional rustle of clothing. The ride is slow and tedious, and Death's bony fingers tap impatiently on the handle of their scythe. The 5 other people in the lift, engrossed in their magazines and smartphones, do not give Death a second glance. The lights above the door indicate that the lift is on floor 3. Death watches the light, waiting for it to change. The light still says 3. Death remains watching the light intently. Almost reluctantly, the light changes to indicate that they are now on the 4th floor.
Interior hospital ward day. The action music continues as the patient struggles to sit up on the side of his bed. He slips on a pair of slippers, grabs a wheelchair from his bedside, and with great effort pulls himself into it before grabbing a coat from beside his table.
Interior hospital lift day. Bored, Death scratches their head with the scythe.
Interior hospital corridor day. The action music continues. Now wearing his coat, the patient wheels himself to the door of his ward. We can see his face for the first time as he peeks through the doorway, covertly checking the corridor to see the coast is clear of any nurses likely to rush him back to his bed. This is Harvey Grieves, 72, the man from the photo. Old and sick, he wears pale blue button-up pajamas and a face as stubborn as a child's. Spotting a nurse, he waits silently until they turn a corner out of sight. Then he rushes through the door and down the corridor.
Interior hospital lift day. Fed up, the person standing beside Death checks their watch. After a pause, Death extends a bony hand and lifts that person's arm up to check the time themselves. Feeling the peculiar sensation of bones on their skin, the person turns their head slowly towards Death, silent but terrified.
Interior hospital corridor, day. Harvey stops still as he reaches a corner and slyly eyes the next corridor to check the coast is clear. He then continues, ducking as he passes by the reception desk to make sure he isn't spotted by any staff on duty. The music ends as he manages to wheel himself into a lift at the end of the corridor. The downward-facing arrow is lit up above the lift's door, and with a ping, the upwards-pointing one lights up above the lift next to it. As Harvey's lift's door closes, the one next to it opens and Death exits, looking with interest at an unconscious patient being wheeled past on a trolley.
Interior hospital ward, day. Death is standing by Harvey's empty bed, which sits next to the window. They remove the photo from their robes and stand by the bed for a moment, confused, before moving over to a nearby window. Looking out of the window, Death sees Harvey wheeling himself across the car park towards the ambulance station.
Exterior hospital car park, day. Hurriedly making his way across the car park, Harvey glances back at the hospital behind him.
Harvey's POV, the window. Harvey catches sight of Death watching him through the window. Death stares for a moment, then looks from Harvey, back to the photo, and then back again.
Interior hospital ward, day. Death's POV, Harvey. Harvey stares back at Death and mouths, "Shit," before hurrying away.
Interior hospital CCTV station, day. The on-duty security guard is asleep, an open gossip magazine resting on his stomach. Death is watching the CCTV feeds on the screens. They spot.
Interior ambulance station, continuous. On CCTV, Harvey is secretly wheeling himself into the back of an ambulance. In the background, a driver and nurse can be seen getting into the front seats of the vehicle, unaware of the stowaway.
Interior hospital CCTV station, continuous. Death watches as the ambulance drives off. They start to walk out before coming back to grab the guard's magazine before exiting.
Exterior quiet residential street, day. The ambulance driver and nurse are carefully helping an elderly woman down the steps from her front door. The ambulance is parked at the curb. The back doors are open and Death peers in. Too late, Harvey is gone, though his wheelchair remains.
Exterior bus stop, day. Harvey sits waiting patiently for the bus, less confident out of his wheelchair. He cautiously holds onto the edge of the bench he's sitting on. We hear traffic on the road in front of him.
Exterior quiet residential street, day. The ambulance behind him, Death heads across the street. They are interrupted when a group of goth teens run up to them. Goth 1, shaking Death's hand enthusiastically.
Wow, I can't believe it. I'm such a big fan.
The 4 teens crowd around Death, who is searching for a way to escape from the small people impeding the search for Harvey.
You're a big fan. I have him on my bedroom wall.
On your wall? I have him on my t-shirt right now.
Goth 1 opens up his jacket to show Death his t-shirt. Goth 3 is doing something on her phone.
Oh, please stop. You're so embarrassing.
As she speaks, she holds up her phone, moving it so the front camera gets a good angle of the group. In the same moment, Death hears the brakes of a bus as it pulls up to a stop nearby. On phone, in a disorderly selfie, the 3 goths look at the camera excitedly while Death looks in the direction of the sound. As the 3 goths crowd around Goth 3's phone to look at the picture, Death takes the opportunity to set off hurriedly down the road.
Hey!
He stops when he notices Death has left them.
Well, they do say never meet your idols.
We hear the sound of a bus pulling away as...
Exterior bus stop, day. Death arrives at the bus stop just in time to see it leave. As it passes, they spot Harvey through the window. Harvey looks back, his eyes widening in fear. Annoyed, Death checks the bus timetable and sees that the bus only has one more stop after this one. They sit down on the bench to wait for the next bus. A woman is sitting on the other side of the bench with a bouquet of flowers that slowly wilt when Death sits.
Interior park, day. Harvey is walking through a small park near his house. Green and well kept. There is some children's play equipment in one corner and plenty of trees and plants. A hooded figure in black steps out from behind a tree, meters away from Harvey, partially hidden in the shadow of the leaves. Harvey freezes, his eyes widening and breath catching in his throat. A hooded youth steps out from the shadows, annoyed at Harvey staring at him.
Oi, what's your problem?
Shaken, Harvey hurries on his way. Another youth appears from behind the tree, a friend of the first. Harvey hears them talking as he walks away.
What's his problem?
The youth's friend shrugs.
Interior bus, day. Death is boarding the next bus. Low-level chatter can be heard from the other passengers. Standing by the driver, Death reaches into their robes and takes out a handful of small change. They place it on the counter and begin to count it, moving the coins across the counter with a finger as they do. The driver, impatient, lets out an exasperated sigh of frustration. Death pauses and slowly raises their head to look threateningly at the driver for a moment. A silence falls over the bus. The driver, frozen in terror, swallows hard. Point made. Death goes back to counting the money.
Exterior, Harvey Street, day. Harvey is walking unsteadily down his street, tired from the chase.
Interior, bus, day. Death sits on the bus reading the magazine they took from the security guard at the hospital. Exterior, street, continuous. As the passengers exit the bus, Death steps out and glances around to see where Harvey could have gone. Exterior, park, day. Death walks through the park Harvey had been in minutes earlier. The youths from earlier are still there.
Exterior, Harvey Street, day. Death walks onto Harvey Street and stops. They look down the street at the houses on both sides of the road. Death does not know which house belongs to Harvey. They walk down to the nearest house.
Interior, exterior, doorway 1, day. The door opens. A young man answers. He stares at Death for a moment, then faints. Death extends a hand as if to help support the poor man, but it's too late.
Interior/exterior, doorway 2, day. The door opens. A young woman, late 20s, answers, a baby on her hip and a mobile phone wedged between her shoulder and her ear. She ignores Death for a moment as she continues speaking on her phone.
Yeah. Hold on a minute, Sharon. There's some joker at the door.
She looks up at Death, unimpressed.
Halloween ain't until next month, love. You're not getting out from me.
She shuts the door.
Interior stroke exterior, doorway 3, day. Death knocks on the door.
Yeah, just a minute.
Death waits patiently outside the door, tapping their fingers on the handle of his scythe. A middle-aged woman opens the door. Upon seeing Death, she's terrified.
Oh my God!
She attempts to shut the door, but Death jams it open with the scythe. She lets it fall open, getting increasingly panicked.
Oh my God! Why now? I can't. I'm too young. Oh God! Is it? It must be the mole that I found. It's the mole, isn't it? I knew I should get it checked, and Karen told me it was nothing. She'd had one last summer, and well, ain't she gonna look the fool now? Oh, but I can't.
She sees Death shaking their head apologetically and waving their hands rapidly in a no gesture. Death quickly removes Harvey's photo from their robes and holds it out to show the woman.
Oh dear Lord! For a moment there, I thought I was a goner. You had me there. Oh, Harvey's in number 19.
Death nods at approval and turns to leave.
Interior, Harvey's living room, day. Harvey's living room is small but homely. In the middle sits a coffee table flanked by 2 sofas, worn but inviting. Surfaces are cluttered with numerous photo frames with pictures of Harvey with his late wife, family and friends. 60s acoustic rock is playing quietly in the background. Death enters to find Harvey sitting on a sofa, having changed from his hospital pyjamas into smart trousers, shirt and tie. Lying on the sofa next to him is an elderly cat, which Harvey strokes affectionately.
I couldn't leave without saying goodbye, you know. I mean, Mabel would never forgive me.
Death turns their head to take a look at a photo beside them. It's of a younger Harvey standing next to his wife, who holds a kitten in her arms. It's clearly the same cat. Harvey gestures for Death to sit down on the sofa opposite him, and they do so. There are 2 glasses and a bottle of whiskey on the coffee table, from which Harvey pours them each a drink. They clink their glasses together.
Cheers.
Death nods in appreciation. They both take their glasses back to drink, but Harvey stops to watch Death. Death casually pours the entire drink into the space where their head should be, before putting the glass back on the table and noticing Harvey. Harvey is staring at Death, confused and curious. Death taps the space where their nose should be with a bony finger, as if to say, it's a secret. Still unsure, Harvey takes a sip of his drink, watching Death warily. On the mantelpiece, an old wooden clock shows the time, 10 to 2.
Interior, Harvey's living room, day. 1 hour later. The mantelpiece clock now shows the time as 10 to 3. Harvey and Death are still sitting on the sofas, having a good time. There are half-empty pizza boxes on the table and floor. Harvey is laughing. He refills their glasses, emptying the last drops from the whiskey bottle. Suddenly remembering something, Death slightly drunkenly points a finger in the air to indicate a sudden thought. Moving around the table to sit next to Harvey, they pull out a small, time-worn black book from inside their robes to show him. Harvey takes the book and opens it. Inside are photos of various famous people who have died, alongside their autographs. Harvey flicks through, amazed. Death animatedly points out one person who they like very much, nodding and giving the thumbs up. On the next page, they point at the photo and then shake their head disapprovingly. Harvey finds a photo of the Beatles with John Lennon and George Harrison's signatures. Death points at McCartney and taps their wrist impatiently, indicating a watch, then shakes their head and shrugs in frustration. They are annoyed at having to wait so long for his autograph. Harvey laughs.
And what about Ringo?
Death shrugs. Harvey continues flicking through the book. He points at one entry and Death shakes their head, making a blah blah hand gesture, indicating that that person complained too much. Harvey closes the book.
Go. So then what's it going to be? How does old Harvey go?
Death shrugs.
You don't know?
Death shakes their head.
Well, that's odd.
He picks up a slice of pizza from a box on the table and takes a bite.
You see, I always thought...
He stops abruptly, drops his pizza and clutches his throat, eyes wide, choking. Cut to black. The end.
Coda, interior hospital ward, evening. As the credits roll, a box at the side of the screen displays a news report. On news report, a reporter stands in front of a row of 4 occupied beds in a ward in the same hospital where Harvey was a patient.
Reports have been coming in that for an entire 90-minute period early today, there were no reported deaths anywhere in the world.
Behind them, Death rushes over to visit the patient in the bed furthest from the camera. The patient lets out a short croak and falls limp in an overly dramatic fashion. Arms out to the sides, tongue sticking out, eyes open. Death runs out of the ward.
Hospital reports from all over the UK show that between the hours of 1:30 and 3 o'clock, no deaths were recorded. Since its discovery,
Death runs in again, this time visiting the bed that is second furthest from the camera. The patient gives one last groan and dies, leaving their body in a similar state to the previous one. Death runs out of the ward.
Similar reports have been coming in from all across the globe. The cause of it is as of yet unknown, though some say it is more...
Death rushes in, stops to catch their breath, hunched over with their hands on their knees, then stands up again and goes over to the patient second closest to the camera. This patient dies in the same way as the others, this time with a loud sigh. Death runs out of the ward.
Likely a cause of missing data than a temporary suspension of mortality. In an address to the Vatican tonight, the Pope is expected to hail this anomaly as a miracle.
Death runs in one last time to see the patient closest to the camera. When this one dies, they let out a surprised, "Ooh." Hearing this, the reporter looks around, mildly confused and worried.
More on this story as it develops.
So hi again, folks. That was the entire script of The Grim Reaping of Harvey Grieves. We hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed reading it, and I think Alice enjoyed writing it. I presume so. You're allowed to say something. Yeah. Yeah. So do you know it's doing it like that on through Zoom and things? It's a slightly unintuitive kind of process, but thanks so much to the guys who helped out with it. It's kind of a nice way to spend an evening with some performers and to share the whole script, so you know what's in the film. And the issue is that we want to make that into a really striking piece of cinema. So if you want to see that actually writ large on your screens in full glorious Technicolor, that's what we're here to do, and that's what the Kickstarter is there to do. So by all means, go over there at any time and if you're inspired by that, tell your friends, because that's going to help us get to that point and turn it into something really extraordinary. We are very much open to your kind of questions or comments, any thoughts about the script, anything you liked or didn't like. You tell us what you think.
Like it all.
Well, you may have loved every minute of it. You may have hated every minute of it. We hope not. I don't know, it's
Give me
inconceivable.
money anyway.
Inconceivable. So, there's a lot to take into. Oh yeah, along with the Kickstarter also, we have some goodies. I'm just going to show you those. So there's various goodies that you can have. The merch. We've got the hoodie there, the hat, the beanie hat, and badges and stickers and things like that. I'm talking with my hands. You can't see me talking with my hands. I'm still doing it to the camera. Alice, have you seen that? So
Make sure it's in frame.
we'll come back. We'll come back in the room. Here we are. That's great. Along with obviously the film itself. So a streaming link for the film, and the chance to take part either remotely or in person, depending on what you go for in our premiere, and all sorts of other wonderful things. So have a look at the Kickstarter, and we'll do that. It'll all be good.
The link to the Kickstarter is now in the comments, so if you want a really quick way to get to that and just give us a little bit of your pocket money, then that's there for you now.
Fantastic. I'm just getting distracted now by something that's not doing what it's supposed to do. But that's fine. This is life. But talking about, well, okay, so we saw that and we had some great input from local performers, and I'm thrilled. I'm slightly conscious of our Harvey, because I actually am able to share some news today, which Alice and Peter might sort of raise an eyebrow at, because I've not quite mentioned this to them yet, because it's literally come through to us today. One of the really important things has been casting for Harvey, which we've had some discussion about over the last few weeks, and I'm happy to say that the person that we've been talking to has confirmed that they would like to take the role. Now this is subject to exact availability. Because of COVID, we're a bit uncertain about scheduling a date, but as of this moment today, we can announce our actor for Harvey is the one and only Sylvester McCoy. The extraordinary special.
You didn't tell us he confirmed you.
Yes, sneaky.
Well,
That was very sly of you, Simon.
I get to enjoy these things occasionally.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So we've been in conversation with Sylvester's agent for a little while. They've been very, very helpful, and she just confirmed that Sylvester, that he loved the script and would like to take the role. And just today, we've agreed that, and they're very happy for us to announce that. So it is, of course, as I say, subject to all the things that can happen with COVID and what have you between now and when we're actually able to shoot. But that's our big announcement. It couldn't be any better. I don't know.
Well,
how are you guys doing?
amazing.
I have to say, when I was writing this in like my second year of university, when I started it, I didn't expect Doctor Who to end up playing the main character.
Yeah, the former Doctor Who, Radagast in the Hobbit films. Just
Most importantly, he was in the 5-ish Doctors reboot short special, which is like my favourite Doctor Who thing of the last like 10 years.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, Harvey's he's got to have that sort of energy and mischief about him. And I think when we were talking about possible casting for the role, Sylvester was right at the top of the list, because he has that sort of mischievous character, and we think that he'll bring that role to life brilliantly. So I hope that's a compliment to Leslie, who helped us out with Harvey on Wednesday, and did a great job. Thrilled with that, and yeah. So that's our big news, which we'll now be sharing everywhere, because this is literally the first time we've mentioned it anywhere. Yeah.
First time mentioned it to us.
Well, you know, what do you need to know? What do you need to know? Right. So we're going to carry straight on. If you do have any comments, if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts about, well, what I've just said, please, you know, go for it and shout with those as well. And we're going to play a game of Scribbly. I don't know whether it's called Scribble or Scribblio or Scribble.io. I just honestly don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to resend a link, because I think it's reset, of course, because that's how these things work. I'm going to send it to you both through our Facebook Messenger link. So if you want to just check that out.
Can you put it in the Zoom chat?
No, because then everyone will see it.
Oh.
And look, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy. Yeah, we weren't all.
Oh, I don't. Oh, I need to download Facebook. I'll have to be confused.
I'm very, very happy for people to join in. Oh, what's going on? Who's playing that?
That's me. No,
Oh, that's it. Right. So adverts will come up. It will all go wrong for a moment. Oh, there. We've got Alice. We've got Simon. I'm going to transition now to our Scribblio screen, and you'll be able to see what's going on, and we'll go from there. But you'll still be able to hear us. So you'll be able to see us too. I've thought of everything. You see, there we are, up in the corner. Isn't it great? Peter, where are you?
Just.
Oh, don't look at the custom words. You're not supposed to see that. Don't look at the custom words.
Well, I can't see it, so.
Well, if you're watching the stream, you can. So people out there, don't look at the custom words, because that's cheating. Peter, we'll just wait.
The old link was I was ready and waiting on that one.
Oh, there he is. There he's right. Here we go. Okay, so anyone who doesn't know Scribblio, it's what is the game that it's like? I can't remember. Pictionary or something. Anyway, you get a word. You have to draw it. The others have to guess what it is. We've put in words that are vaguely related to the film and things like that, and it quickly becomes somewhat, silly, ridiculous, whatever. So let's have some fun with it. And again, if you have any comments on the script or Sylvester McCoy as our lead or anything at all, put those in Facebook or YouTube comments, and we'll just natter along as we go. All right. Here goes. Start game.
Hey. Round one.
Okay, round one. Peter is choosing a word. Oh yeah. Now you two, you're not allowed to look at the live stream now, because you'll see my screen.
Oh yeah, no.
Peter doesn't have a mouse, so Peter is drawing with his trackpad.
Peter's drawing with his finger on his trackpad. This could be interesting. Oh, we need to guess, don't we? Any guesses, anybody? Go for it. Yay! Look, you can do it even without a mouse.
Oh, okay.
Alice.
Oh, right, let's not do this. Can't even get this right. Okay. There we go.
Oh, I've got a bit of a cheat, really, because I wrote these words.
But it's spooky here. Like what's
I can't remember all of them.
Did not go very
Hannah
far.
says that's fantastic news for you guys. It is. You're right. Oh, I've got to pick a word. Philip Shacklady says, "Hey guys, I really enjoyed the read through. It was genuinely funny and wholesome. It is a wholesome story. Also, OMG, Sylvester McCoy. That's amazing. He's my favourite Doctor. I think you're not the only one. Oh, what? Oh, it chose for me. I forgot that happened.
I know all the spooky. Oh, that's cute. Ooh,
Alice
it looks
guessed.
Like,
Yay!
it's like close up Pac-Man.
Yeah,
I thought it was
precisely.
jellyfish or something.
You can spam the guesses, by the way. I mean, just go for it. You can keep it clean, but that's fine.
I'm just so good. I only guess correct guesses.
Oh, I see. I see. Just straight off. Straight off.
Yeah,
Right.
this is obviously a line.
It is. It's 2 lines. There may be
Ooh.
more.
All the lines.
Peter Trivunovic says Sylvester McCoy! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Okay. Excellent. Excellent.
Oh,
Round 2 of 3. This isn't. We're gonna have to do more. This is not enough.
Let's have a look. No, yeah, this looks fun.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh no, I'm on white. Can't draw anything in white.
I'm a little bit daunted at the prospect of directing A-list talent.
I mean, I get that.
I
Dead.
think it's going to be a great one.
Dead. Person's red. Got a red face. No. Oh, I
What?
didn't do
What was you murdered by?
Oh.
it. It was mad about this person I was trying to draw. But
Choose a word. Oh, now then. Oh, well. Okay. Fair enough. No. That.
Oh.
Oh, why? Every time!
Can you just put the film?
Yeah, I did the fill thing, and every time it does that blooming. Oh, come on! Now I'm white. Right, black. There we go. Now that's definitely joined. That's definitely joined. Now I'm gonna fill. Yay! Finally, it worked. The joy, the sheer joy.
Ooh, he's got arms. Ah.
Yay!
Look a whole lot like the Grim Reaper.
Oh, yeah, you both got it. You can't get it right and then complain it's not good enough.
I'm going to pick a really hard one just because I think it'll be funny.
I mean, it's not half the time, and he chose all these words.
You say that like it's an advantage.
Oh, it's Peter's drawing. Who's on red? Dude.
What? I mean, it's some guy.
Oh, right. I never looked at him.
Oh, I do know what this is.
I mean, I have no idea if this is what the person even looks like.
No, it's not. Oh!
He's clearly got like the scissors in the hand. What scissors for? Better just can't speak.
No. Oh, who is it? What's in his hand? Flea.
Flea.
Fleet? Oh, Fleet Street.
That's great. I went off.
Yeah, okay, that actually does make sense. Is that supposed to be a razor? Okay.
Yeah.
Scissors, got you.
Yeah. What am I even doing? Oh, okay.
Oh, did he not use scissors? I've not seen the film.
I haven't, but
He's a barber.
I mean, we.
One assumes so.
Absolutely great.
Bin. No. McDonald's fries.
Is he like one?
Thick bucket.
That's
What?
grim.
Well, that's the idea. It's meant to be.
Oh right, because like Oh my god, this is not. It's not letting me do the brush. I'm just on Phil forever now.
Well, there you go.
What's happening?
Can't help
Oh
you
my
there.
god. Ooh, look, it's waving.
I don't know. How did you get that? Oh, flipping heck. It's... Oh. I can't even spell. Well, that's the Irish spelling, isn't it?
I can't spell.
Choose avoid. Okay. It's time for the real deal now.
If you got any comments or like questions, feel free, guys. Oh, unless we're just like that entertaining, like our amazing artwork.
So I'm trying this with like.
So,
this
Simon,
is.
are you going to be? Are we allowed to? Will you be changing the Kickstarter to say that we have so much?
I will be changing everything. I think.
This changes everything.
Oh, we've had a donation in since we've been on.
Wowzer.
Thank you, whoever that
That's
was.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Are you actually playing this game, Peter?
Sorry.
Oh, look at that demon! Look at that small demon on this game. That's what it looks like.
Are you Peter? Yay!
Are you even making this film?
Hey!
Hey! I won! I can't believe Simon came
What?
to keep you out the
You
world.
won! Oh my! How? Oh, because you were quicker. You see, it's about speed as well. Right, we'll do one more round, shall we? One more round. I guess you're still on the same link. Yes. One more round. Here we go. Here we go.
That is choosing a word.
No, that's good. It's a start.
Right. Here we go.
I hope everybody's enjoying this. I mean, what it's like as entertainment, I've no idea, but we're having fun.
Oh, that is.
That's the same again. No.
You can't just point at something that looks like nothing.
Eh?
Oh my god.
Eh?
Is that not clear what it is? That thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's why we
No,
both guessed it.
that make it better.
Oh, no.
I guess not.
I don't know. What?
Oh, I'm over here. Like,
I'm completely at a loss.
oh,
I'm having so much fun picking the hardest ones.
I just pick the ones that are easiest to draw. It's not on it.
Nothing?
I don't know. I mean,
Oh
oh.
my god.
Okay, I get it. It was a bit more phonetic, linguistic. Yeah, right.
Yeah, my god.
Too smart for me.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle.
I'm slightly worried to say. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes, right.
I'm determined to win this.
You keep that determination.
Simon.
Oh wow, this already looks nothing like what it should be.
I think they're mittens.
Oh, what?
Amazing. This is going to be a masterpiece. Oh. At least let me finish.
Who was it? Edvard Munch? Is that?
Yeah. Bit of
I'm
milk.
not just a hat stand. Oh, okay, it's vegan. Okay.
Yeah. Oh. What? Oh. The screen's gone. Oh yes. All right. Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
It's like artistic.
Okay.
Ooh.
No. Oh. Oh. But. There we go. Horror rather than comedy. But there we go. Yep.
Hi, Georgie.
Thanks for that, Pete. Or is it? We all float down here.
Like a goldy color.
Oh. Ah! I'm really slow. This is why I'm losing. I'm just not. I actually know what the words are, and I'm doing just terribly. Okay. Right, we are. I could pretty much leave it at that.
Oh. Oh, it's four letters. No.
What?
I was going to draw some sad people. Bad people.
Oh, crap. Oh, no. Here we go. Back to blue.
What's happening?
Okay, I just wiped out an entire metropolis worth of potential supporters. Okay. Oh.
No. Change the line.
No.
Why is it? Is the red and the green like important?
No, I changed my mind. First I thought it should be red, then I thought it should be green.
I'm struggling with this. What? Oh, it's not. Oh. Yay! I got there first for once.
Actually, I think that cross should be a bit more chunky rather than...
Yes, it should.
Oh, what? It looks like a pharmacy or something.
It does, doesn't it?
Pharmacy. A big pharmacy.
Think our film. Think your script.
Oh! I was trying to think of like the most scary
What you need to do, Alice, is read the script. All right. Well, you know.
Okay.
Just as an idea. God, I'm still third. That's appalling. Water.
Oops. Oh.
Nope.
Oh no.
Other hangover cures are available. Oh. I like that. I like that. Very good. Oh, I'm getting repeats now. That's difficult. That's good.
Question.
Yes.
Yeah. What would the likely running time of the short be?
Oh yes. Fair point.
Shorter than the read through. Generally, it's a sort of rule of thumb in film that it's 1 minute per page. This is just over 12 pages, so roughly about 12 13 minutes.
Yes.
Like that. But because it took a lot longer because with the read through, because this is easy. Because there's a lot of action that would actually take a lot longer to read out than actually put on.
Yeah, the action sequences at the start. There we go. I've still lost horribly. There we go. I'm just gonna have to chalk that up to being useless. Fair enough. Right. I mean, I'm gonna come back in the room. But that's good. That was entertaining. Anybody, anytime you want to play Scribblio, it's great fun. In these times of lockdown, if you have some friends who have a clue, go for it. Here we are. Yeah, we're back.
Where's the McCoy? I'm still in shock. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, no, it was one of the difficulties of the read through like that, because all the action, obviously, when it's written out on the page, there's a lot of kind of information there. So those action sequences took much longer in the read through than they will in the actual film, because they'll be, you know, snappy, quick back and forth sequences. So yeah, much less than the sort of 20 minutes or so that we had. But yeah, there we go. Short of any more questions.
Someone's asking about location recce's. What kind of plans have we got for filming the hospital scenes?
Oh well, so that's kind of, along with further casting, that's kind of the next step. We're not into that aspect of pre-production yet. And yeah, those are the next big things to get sorted out. We have a few ideas, and they include things like, so universities that have medical training have sort of hospital ward training spaces, and there are various other things like that. Say again.
That are free for use and things like this more than actual hospitals.
Yeah, I think getting access to an actual hospital at the moment is going to be challenging, but there are other options and places that we can dress that will give us the right sort of look. So there are ways that we can do that. Yeah, there's a lot of options, a lot of questions that will need a lot of answers, and yeah, there's a job to do to get that together. But nothing fixed as yet. There we go.
Yeah.
Fair question, and it's one I've got to answer. But we'll get there.
But we are thinking generally we want to base it here in West Yorkshire.
Yeah, no. One of the very important things for us, I think, is that it's a regional production. It should be that way, and there's no reason for it not to be. We have all the resources and people here. And these days, there's also specific requirements in terms of managing your kind of footprint for films and things. So if we can find things in kind of close proximity, then that's going to help. And I mean, that's good for production because it makes the actual process of filming much easier and more efficient. Good for everybody. So there we go. That's us. Keep watching the Facebook page, Instagram, and go over to that Kickstarter, have a look, tell everybody you know about this idea, and get people enthused, because that's how we're going to get it made. And
Got Sylvester McCoy.
yeah, Sylvester McCoy wants to play our lead, which is fantastic news, and you know, that's a big deal. That's a huge deal. That hopefully will make a big difference as well. So thanks.
Fans in your life.
That's it. Every Doctor Who fan, anyone who loves the show, not just Doctor Who. Do you know? I know Sylvester McCoy. He loves Doctor Who and the history of that, but you must get tired of hearing about it every single minute of every day.
How long has it been?
But he was great. He was great. I remember him as the Doctor. Thank you, Alice. And yeah, he was great. Right, we'll leave it at that. We'll stop yakking. Go away. Have your Friday evening. and there'll be lots more information coming out about that and everything else over the next few days. Nip over to that Kickstarter, get some classy merch, and we will see you along for the ride. Bye for now.